Listen, man, I think the only thing 90% of women can love is their child. And the reason they can love their child is because it's something that came out of them that they watch grow and be what it's gonna be. The only reason I think they love their child is because of that. The child is submissive, of course, while they're younger.
Why I think it. That's why I think.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's a big word right there, submissive. This is the closest thing that you'll get genuine love from a woman. That's my opinion.
But you think a woman that drives the father away from a child is capable of love?
That's why I said this is the closest thing that I feel you'll get as far as it go with love from a woman is her children that she sprouted out of her and watched it grow.
We made real friends.
It is what it is. Y'all are great friends, obviously. Man, there's such a, like, for some reason, such a negative connotation of being like a baby mama. Like, whether the relationship you were in was super, like, healthy and good, and you had a kid and you brought a kid into the world and it was whatever, for some reason, people always take that and run with it.
Yeah.
And a narrative is painted that's so negative sometimes. So how do you guys feel about that, and why do you think that is? I mean...
3 weeks in a row. It's up with me, just know that it's up. $170,000 to your hoe, but $11,000 in your son's bank account. $11,000 son's bank account.
Very rare.
Yeah, two people breaking up and going their separate ways is completely different than a woman running the father off. Like running the
father off so that she can control the mind.
Yeah, that's like
of a baby. What could be more evil?
That should be attempted murder.
Yeah, that's abuse.
That should be I
can't argue with you at all, Craig.
Because if he's seen that, he get a portion of the answer to his question. But also, there's been clips of her openly talking about that athletes are easiest to trick because they're not that smart. Advertising how to lock men into situations by utilizations of your warm insides should be viewed as disgusting.
In my experience, the worst people to deal with are the athletes. None of them use condoms, really. So if y'all really want to try to come up off a check off a man, I mean, you could just an athlete. They're really done.
And now because of this new defensiveness of the modern day man, because they can look at women talk about things like that, then no wonder that the women that go for athletes get titled gold diggers.
So Brittany is now begging for $35,000 in child support because she tells judge $5,000 isn't enough for them to live with. If you guys didn't know, PJ signed a $90 million contract, so Brittany's child support went from $2,500 a month to $5,000 a month. Now she's crying to the judge saying, oh, this is not enough. I moved to California and I just can't afford the lifestyle that PJ can give our son. That she's struggling so bad financially that $35,000 will be perfect. Give him to his dad. You admitted it yourself. You can't provide what his dad can provide. Cool. Give him to his dad. He's happily married with a stable family. When you forget that video where you were jealous that he gave your son $11,000 in his savings? A 4-year-old at that. PJ Washington isn't without fault though, because everyone told this man don't get her pregnant. People told this man leave Shawty alone. It's like telling an NBA player right from wrong is trying to tell your homegirl that her boyfriend no good. They're never gonna listen until...
She's not gonna get rid of the baby because the baby comes with the financial ticket. The baby is going to dig into his pockets.
She wants her redemption arc. She wants that. She wants her redemption arc, and you don't... The problem is, ladies, explain something. Let me explain something to you. When you become a single mom, you don't get a redemption arc. You don't. You all can keep holding on to Ciara as much as you damn well please. You don't get a redemption arc. You gonna get the dude that gets you, and that's gonna be it. But you are never gonna walk somewhere and have a group of men say, damn, I wish I was your husband. It's not happening. Not the ones you want. Brittany doesn't get a redemption arc.
Like ever since my ex and I were together and he posted me, it was like, oh, you're a gold digger. And this was before we even brought Zoe into the world. So I feel like people just think that you're kind of out there for what players can offer you, like financially and just all of that.
Cool. Like y'all's thoughts, because to me, like I said in the comments, like it would be tough dating someone's old girl and they just always have that like over you, like.
Say it with your chest, baby. Yo, the look on Brittany's face is, God damn it. Thought I had a chance.
She certainly is waiting for one more train to come through. But she also sees the odds against her. She hears the murmuring. She hears the rumors. She sees what's happening in her comment section. She sees what happens when she Googles her name, YouTubes her name. She sees what the public thinks.
Now, $5,000 a month for child support, that's $66,000 a year. That's more than like the median income for like every state in this country. $35,000 a month is $420,000 a year. No child needs $420,000 a year. That's almost $500,000 a year. And she's looking at that PJ Washington contract and thinking she should get part of that. But this is child support. This is not Brittany Renner support. So she was trying to plant the seeds for this moment months ago, and then PJ signed his deal last month, and now she's saying she needs more money.
And yeah, she's like, oh, this isn't a joke. This isn't just a few podcasters. This is the prevailing sentiment. And she's trying to speak against it. And the problem is, her talking is not the issue. What she says isn't the real problem. What she does is the problem. The thing she does. Although at this point right now, I don't think there's any redeeming it. We just, as men, we just all know her as the wacky, crazy, biracial chick. We got a million of those. And when a female assumes that position in our minds and in our estimation of her, when we categorize her as that, there is no coming back from that. And what she showed with PJ Washington, oh, you're as vicious as we thought you were. And then after PJ, all that talking, athletes are dumb. Oh, hell yeah, there's no mistake in this. And then the way she showed out in front of the kids, like, oh no.
Ladies, gentlemen of Polite Savages, we are now about to embark on a journey sure to anger feminists and modern women alike. Embrace yourself, this one's a doozy.
Now, Polite Savages, we are not surprised that Miss Brittany Renner is now going for the jugular of getting PJ Washington to cough up $35,000 big ones per month in child support. Taking advantage of a young man's horniness, hypnotized by her butt and getting him to deposit that seed, cuffed his finances down for 18 years just because he had to go and bust a nut. Find herself the shortest path, a shortcut into getting into his pockets. Where an opportunistic, predator-like behavior from Brittany Renner, going after her, getting her meal ticket, knowing all she's gotta do is get a cream of some young guy to be her sperm donor. She knows she can go in and start cashing in on her lottery winnings by capitalizing on a young man's stupidity, taking him to the cleaners for his mistake. But Polite Savages, what we can take away from all of this is that Brittany Renner is all about that business.
Experiences they have. But I feel like when it comes to past and a man focusing on what happened 5 years ago or what man you slept with or what guy you were with, that is thinking when this man stuck his in her, she no longer has value. If you meet somebody that makes sense, whether they have a kid, whether they've been with someone publicly that was in the league, it's like, why miss out on the potential love of your life just because some guy dated her and it didn't work out? They were meant to have a kid, they moved on.
No. So what she's trying to do is talk up her value. She's trying to talk it up. Well, you know the problem with that. Value doesn't have to be talked up. It's self-evident. If you have to convince me that you have more value, you don't have it. You don't. She's taking a look around. She sees all these athletes and stuff like that. Even Shaquille O'Neal's popping in folks' DMs, and Brittany is realizing now, damn, they're talking to chicks 10, 12 years younger than me. And with no children.
I do have a son. Oh, sorry. How old is he? He is 4.
You gotta listen to the things that she's saying and she's not saying. Where the inference is that the minimum price for you to date Brittany Renner is $420,000 a year. $35,000 a month times 12, and that is what you get. The minimum price for you to get her into bed. Now I'm just speculating. Now I'm just doing some shortcut generalized math. But I think we can all assume this is what you need to bring to the table to have her entertain you with a couple rounds. And that is up for you to interpret. And best believe if she wins that judgment against PJ Washington, that amount right there is gonna double for her to even take you seriously.
It's like, why are we seen as like the baggage? You know, like why do we, when it's like a blessing?
Mama, there's a baby daddy.
And also, right, and
if I'm being honest, I don't really like dating women with children. And it's not because they have children, it's just I don't live up to the standard they set for the man that they want. Women with children say things that make no sense to me. They say things like, Ryan, I want you to love my child as if they're your own. How can I love who calls me Mr. Davis? Like I love my children? It don't make sense. I love my children to death. Literally, I will give my life if that means that my children will live on. You think, you see how I don't even have to finish that for a lot of y'all? That's a hell of an ask. That is a hell of an ask. You want me to give my life for a friend of a friend. This is...
We know a 33-year-old Brittany is heading into her mid-30s. 7 more years until she's 40. With the last train leaving, the doors fast closing. She is heading right into the danger zone. It's coming to twilight of her career. So she's got to make one mad dash, snag herself a high-value man, an athlete, or an entertainer by convincing Michael J. Porter Jr. that she still got some value here. She still belongs on the top shelf amongst all the other younger IG model thoughts, doing what she can to be convincing that man that she does not belong on the clearance rack.
You have made comments saying that you would never wife someone who has a child with someone in the league. So my question to you is, like, what inspired you to feel that way?
What comments are you specifically talking about?
I think you're talking about when he said that he wouldn't wife somebody that was already
that had talked to an athlete.
Yeah.
I feel like if you dated like publicly like a player, it would be hard just because of, it would be tough dating someone's old girl and they just always have that like over you. It takes a very understanding person to want to take on that role when you're going into life with a woman who has a child. It's something that I've always thought I would steer away from. Could be like an ego thing or like a
insecurity thing.
I don't know. It could be stuck in my ways.
I feel like I see why guys are hesitant with certain girls, because I even see certain girls and I'm like, you make it hard for us women to be taken seriously as like, you know, mothers versus baby mama, or out here for the wrong thing. So I get that because I see it and I'm like, you guys are surrounded by it a lot.
True. Because, you know, for me, it's like, I live my life out loud. Like, I mean, pretty much everything I've done, you can Google and find it. So I feel like you not wanting children, like with someone who already has a kid because you don't have children, is a very different energy than, oh, you dated this basketball player who took you seriously, who you thought was your end game, and like, I wouldn't look at you as that. Like, to me, that's very egotistical. Again, your preference, you're allowed that, but I also think it's kind of like, okay, like.
I feel like it's honestly.
Look, she first starts with a shaming tactic, right? Saying that, well, if you don't choose her as a man, it's due to your own insecurity, right? Like a weakness within you. And then she doubles back on this, my past shouldn't matter bullshit. This is like you walking into a place of business to start to work and you say, well, you don't need my resume. My past don't matter. Just believe me. Meanwhile, you twerked on Charleston White. You cosplayed for Kevin Gates, right? Like there's clear information here that you were a bad selection, right? But it's his insecurity.
PJ Washington got that new extension and Brittany Renner ran her ass to the court building and said, listen, 5.5K is not enough anymore. This making $45 million in a year. I need $35K a month. $35,000 a month? $35,000 a month? What the fuck? The diapers made in gold? 5.5K isn't enough. I'm struggling to make ends meet. Well, get a job! That's what you do when you struggle to make ends meet. You find another income. $35,000 a month? Oh, hell no.
See, Brittany didn't stay in Texas. She went over to California. Why? Because Texas has a cap on how much you can get monthly. California does not. That's why the first thing gold diggers normally do after getting a baller is move to California.
Unfortunate ladies, and especially to the lady polite savages, you find yourself in a position where you do not have the leverage. A man without kids is in a superior position, most especially when he's got some money. Add that onto the status, then you're gonna have to be falling in line to his demands. And I know you're gonna hate this, your submission, but maybe I should just rephrase it as simply your cooperation. Do all men share the same opinion? Or every situation is a bit different from one another. It's just gonna depend on the man's resources and his status. But anytime a man climbs the ranks and get higher in the hierarchy, making more money than ever before, then right there the world is his oyster. He can have what he wants when he wants, and it's his program that you're gonna have to fall in line for.
As a millionaire, multimillionaire athlete with no children, it would be a net negative and borderline career suicide to get involved with a woman who has already been with another NBA player. You know this, I know this, and it's not a secret, all right? You've seen how messy that it can get, especially with a woman like Brittany Renner. There is no upside to the situation, only risk, drama, and distraction.
Assets and liabilities. Yeah. Assets and liabilities. Based on who you're dealing with, you know if it's somebody you should take serious or somebody for fun. Okay, you know what? Understand what you're dealing with before you even talk to her.
Right.
That's for fun. Enjoy your fun in a respectful way, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
Whenever I'm with a woman, I do not like to meet her children, especially if my intent is not good. I will at all costs avoid any contact with her kids because they do not need to meet me because I know where my heart is a lot of times. So I don't know if that makes me good or bad, but I don't like to see the children get destroyed.
Wow. You're doing your wrong right.
Right.
That's right. I agree.
Wow. That's all I got for you, you polite savages. Like and subscribe. Hit us up on all social media networks.
We found true happiness.